Welcome to the Your Peak Life podcast. Let's conquer the summit of life and reach the apex of our potential.
Welcome back to Your Peak Life podcast. Today we're going to talk about sense of urgency and entitlement.
You know, I saw something in the notes, like the production notes the other day. It's like episode 26 or something. Did you guys see that? Have we recorded that many
This
already?
one's this one will be 29.
29. Wow.
We got not only training.
Man, I hope y'all are ready. Like,
No, we got plenty of content.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even count the fuck ups.
the bloopers.
There's one I haven't even told you guys about. Like on this camera right here, next to record, there's a slow motion button. And if you hit that, you record everything in slow motion.
Oh man, that's gonna be good.
Oh no, there's a training that got scrapped because of that. But
That'll be fun.
Oh, man, that's funny.
but this is stuff we found out. But there's more episodes we actually recorded more than that.
Okay. That's cool. It's
But
fun.
that number right there is what we actually have in that Dropbox.
But we got to keep it going, though.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
hope you
thing.
guys are enjoying it. That's the big
and we
part.
are right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I pulled up the definition
which one?
of entitlement. And Webster defines entitlement as the fact of having a right to something. And then the entitlement mentality. Damn, that's hard to say. The entitlement mentality is defined as a sense of deservingness or being owed a favor when little or nothing has been done to deserve such special treatment. It's the you owe me attitude. And entitlement is a narcissistic personality trait. So I know when we first breached the subject of entitlement, I immediately went to a negative connotation. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I get it now reading the definition, but like negative entitlement, positive entitlement, I think you've got some ideas on where to start.
yeah, I mean, they're definitely two different things in my opinion. We were talking before the show today, and Edwin kind of mentioned like when you've put in the work, you are entitled to certain things. So you can have positive entitlement and negative entitlement. For me, it's really kind of in regards to what we do every day as entrepreneurs and small business owners, and the journey to reaching your peak life is climbing that mountain. That's why that's behind your guys' head over there, right? That's why these mantras are on the wall. To reach your peak and climb higher, like you have to personally do those things to earn the entitlement. And that's the difference. But in our industry specifically, we see the give me a lead, give me a deal, give me a house to sell. And it's like,
You owe me.
right,
Right.
which is crazy.
I joined your company, like you should feed me. I joined your company, so you have to do like.
But you're an independent contractor,
Correct.
you know.
So that's where I'm getting
and then
at.
you don't even use the tools that are given to you. So it's just not everybody, but you know, when you're dealing with hundreds of people.
That's why I actually loved that definition of like having done little or nothing to receive that reward.
Right.
And I feel like that's a huge part of the real estate world. You talked about, you know, agents joining your company. So many people in real estate are just, they think they're entitled to success without doing the work.
Yeah.
Without the failure.
But there's also maybe they just don't know what that work really is.
Oh, I'm 100%.
So I
that's-
think a lot of people, once they learn the activity, say that we all teach, they can discern, well, man, this isn't it, you know? And that's okay because it's not for everybody. That's fine. But I think people get caught up in their egos and pride in like, they feel like they're failing, but you have to try different things and fail, obviously, to get to the point where you're entitled to certain accolades or
Right.
A certain bank account or a certain number of assets or relationships or whatever it is. You have to earn all of those things. Man. So
Well, that's before you walked in. That's one thing we were talking about is like we've even gotten those. Well, if I come over, you know, I want to open up one of those offices. No,
how about you be loyal to the brand first?
like that's
yeah,
another step there.
that's-
Like you just want to go straight to the top. And
I mean-
within this area, it's like no.
It was the same thing when I decided that I wanted to be a coach. Like it took me 2 years. Like I remember when I went to the first event, it was like, hey, this is something I want to pursue. It took 2 years of like constantly following up and following the process and working through the systems to get to that point.
And effort and
Yeah,
loyalty.
it wasn't just
and
like
showing true interest in a brand and the fact that you're bought into their mission. And it's more than people think.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just like, oh yeah, I've been selling houses for a while, I can coach people. Yeah, you're hired. No, that's not how it works.
No,
Like,
you got to be qualified.
You got to be
first.
qualified. You got to
For sure.
you got to buy in, like you said. You got to put in the work, and it's, I don't know. I think it's a generational thing as well, and that's where I originally wanted to take it because we have kids. We've talked about our kids. We all understand.
Oh, for sure,
how-
dude. I have a great example. My son Jackson, he is 10 years old. You guys all know I have a large dog, and if you could imagine when he uses the restroom, there's work behind keeping that cleaned up so you can maintain your home and your yard, right? So,
I had to dog sit Clyde. I know.
but I would consider myself successful in a good financial position, but my son knows no real struggle, right? So he wanted to get something for $40, and like my standard thing for him now is to go pick up the dog shit. And everybody's like, ew, that's gross, or why, or, but for me, I'm making sure that my son never has a sense of entitlement, never thinks that just because dad made it, he's got it made. Like, no, you're going to earn your way every step of the way. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a PlayStation game. I don't care if you want some new J's or an Alfred or whatever it is. He wants a phone right now. And it's like, well, you need to do this first. You have a tablet. If you can, responsibly maintain that tablet's condition without breaking it, because he's broken like 2 or 3 or whatever over the years. So it's just like, show me that you're responsible enough and earn that phone. I'm not just going to give it to you because you're asking for it. But, I'm consciously making those efforts.
That's good because I did not.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Even my daughter, man, like, she's incredible. All of her classes are advanced classes.
Oh yeah, she's a genius.
She's involved in committees and stuff at the school. She's had a job. She scheduled her permitting test like on her own and just told me when it was, like, let's go get this shit. Like,
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
AJ's different. Like,
Yeah, but she also saw the struggle.
yes, she's been around since the 2-bedroom roach-infested apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, she was there for the ugly divorce and old enough to see how things were handled and how they should have, could have, or shouldn't have been handled and stuff like that. So she definitely had to grow up a little faster than Jackson. But right now they're both doing great and they're happy and healthy, and that's all I can really ask for. But that's just my efforts being conscious of, like, I don't want to fall into that. I think I said it on one of the last episodes.
We say it all the time.
Yeah, man. Just I don't want to be the one responsible for a weaker generation after me. I want my children to pave their own way and to understand what it takes to get there. Yeah, you can come to Dad's house and hop in the pool, and we'll take a ride in the Chevelle, and I'll take you to basketball practice, whatever. But you're not going to be in Dad's basement at age 30 playing video games. You feel me? Like, that's
Right.
just not. That's not my. I can't consider that a quality contribution to society, bro. Like,
Now, from the kid's side, that's like, is that an entitlement? Like, I could always just, if I'm failing, I could just always go to dad's house, right? As they grow up.
yeah.
So that's something we've made really clear. Like,
Oh, your kids are older.
yeah, they're older. So it's different for me. They're all really good kids, and I can't say that they haven't seen the struggle, because they have. What I just went through the last 3 years, to build the business to where we are now, that was a struggle. But they saw it from afar in a 3,200 square foot house where they never had to worry about anything.
Right.
So they didn't see the struggle. And even before that, they were younger. So they're falling into that right now. They see all the success. I think I talked about it on another episode. Like, I talked about it with Kevin Torsha. I bring home this magazine with Ed Milet on the cover, and I open it up to an 8-page spread of your boy, Dad, in the magazine doing big things. Kids are like, oh, that's cool. Like, they just expect it now. I see dad on TV. I see dad in magazines. I see dad on stages. Like, yeah, it don't mean shit to me. It's like, you motherfuckers don't know how hard I worked to get here. And it's like, just not important. They just expect it now.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge, man. It really is. It really is.
The entitlement and the sense of urgency kind of goes in my situation, goes hand in hand when I think of Elijah. Elijah's a great kid. Y'all know he's very respectful. He's cool as shit. But
I thought I saw him in the airport the other day, by the way. Totally random. This dude was sitting at Panera. We were in Dallas, and I walked by and was like, shit, man, I thought it was Elijah.
But I think that's his lack of sense of urgency is what, kind of drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And he knows dad, dad's always been there, right? And me being away and having a 23-year long naval career, it was difficult, trying to set those, hey, you have to do this for this, because I was gone a lot. And then I overcompensated every time I came back. I missed this, I missed that, I missed that. All right, well, here's 20 gifts in a row.
Yeah.
I've been gone for 8 months. That's,
Man, I'm so guilty of that.
I fell in that. I did. I thought that I made the best decisions at the time with the knowledge I had. Right. I didn't have any guidance on being a father. There's no, there's no manual, right? And even still, you guys know both of my children are completely different.
Yeah.
Same house, same rules. They're just completely different.
Yeah. Both of mine are very different.
So it's kind of, I guess a balance. I did the best that I can do. In hindsight, you always say, I would do this better, of course.
Yeah.
But the sense of urgency, and not only in Elijah, right? I just think in the younger generation right now, the everything's easy. You have a question, you pull up your phone, boom, it's there.
They don't even have to pull out their phone. They just say, "Hey Siri,"
correct,
and Siri will read the answer to them.
Well,
I
think that's
me.
the other struggle. Like, I don't feel like I've changed as like a dad. Even with my older girls, I'm still the same guy. Like, you guys know me, right? But I feel like that generation is shifting even faster.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter's 4 years older than my next kid, and it's totally different for them now with all the social media stuff, the school stuff. Like, they're different.
Yeah.
They're into different things. They play some similar games, but it's different. I mean, to the point where I don't even know what that word game is, where it gives you 5 random letters and you got to start creating words. And it's whatever. It's like THER, whatever. Figure out how many words you can make out of that thing, right? Exactly what you said. Siri.
Wow.
I was like, you're cheating, bro. No.
Yeah.
And then my other kid, he's like, Dad, I need more Robux. For what? He's like, because I need some stuff to beat this guy. I was like, get better.
Right.
No, I'm not giving you money to get better. Like, no.
Just do it
Just
the
get
easy
better.
way.
You're playing a game. There's nothing hard about that. And then the other thing is, chores. It's something that I haven't like implemented in the house yet.
I'm the worst.
It's very minimal. Like, they clean up their rooms, they make their beds, everything before they go to school. But there's really nothing else after that. That's where I'm feeling right now in my house. I feel like there is like no chores established throughout the week for these little
Evie
kids.
and I are very adamant that all the kids are on the same page about home cleanliness. If you utilize a plate and you bring it to the kitchen, you will clean it, or you will put it in the dishwasher. Period. If you see the trash is full, you shall take it out. Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like we ingrain the same thing in everybody. If that's your bathroom, it shall be clean. Like, I don't even want to have to come look at your room type shit. Like, we're like that. We're very like that. And if you don't keep it up, we'll make your whole next 24 hours a living hell. I'll come check your room 14 times until it's to my standard, like a fucking zone inspection. Like, we cannot stand a dirty house, bro. Like it's just not even a thing.
They need something other than their rooms and putting their plates away. That's what I mean. Like,
So check this out. Check this out. This is funny.
Well, yeah, picking up dog shit and earning their keep.
So we do have chores. Each child has one daily chore that they're responsible for. So 7 days a week, whatever, they know when they're supposed to do it. But recently, our middle child, we'll call him the middle child, did something pretty stupid, got himself in trouble. He's never been in trouble ever. So it's like, all right, listen, this is serious. You're grounded. We're taking away this. We're taking away this. We're taking away this. Right? Took away his phone. Took away his VR headset. Took away the PS5. Cool. I get home yesterday and this motherfucker's hooking up his Wii to the TV because I didn't tell him he couldn't play Wii.
Bro.
Like, bro, have you never been grounded before? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, well, let me explain to you how this works. Like, literally, your phone has to stay on the counter in the living room.
No video games.
No video games. Yeah, like, he's like, you didn't say I couldn't play the Wii.
So you took this console, not that console.
Mind you, he's hooking up his Wii U to the 85-inch TV in my fucking custom theater room. Like, spoiled as fuck. Grounded. Still hooking his shit up to the TV, like
yeah, in his home theater.
Like, nah, bro, nah. You are entitled. Let me show you how this is really gonna work.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned something, and it brought up a question to me about the sense of urgency, Mike. I know I've known you for a long time. I know you were born with a sense of urgency. But what about the military? So did you guys have a sense of urgency? I know you did. That's why I led with that. But like a sense of urgency before the military, did the military like help it, hurt it? What's your thoughts on that?
I want to say I've always been who I am, but the military definitely assisted with a little bit more or sense of urgency. Because I played sports, I went to school, high school on a scholarship. I was on travel teams. I had a 3.8 GPA in school. I was not that guy.
You were always a hard worker.
So I kind of always had that in me. But I would say the military definitely, highlighted that and kind of sharpened those tools. And then age, of course.
Right.
And then I think some people are just born with it, right? That ability of, just want to get ahead, or I want to continue to do more. Because you see it in all different parts, right? I grew up in Patterson. I know several people who had a sense of urgency and has done super well. And then the majority are still doing the same thing.
Well, I mean, even the drug dealers have a sense of urgency. Like, they're hustling too. They're trying to make money. They're working hard. It's just doing it maybe in a different avenue, right? I mean, I think that's probably where some of your early hustle came from, seeing what you saw growing up, right?
Oh, yeah. Everything's a hustle. Like, there's a difference between a hustler and what all these wannabe business owners, so-called entrepreneurs, like a hustler is somebody who can turn anything into a profit. A hustler is also different from a businessman. It doesn't have to be on a legal thing. Like, I think of somebody look at it like a Gary Vee. You talk about a hustler, swing by the garage sale, pick these items, and then go throw them on my e-commerce site and make a 300% profit. That's a hustler. That's a hustler's mentality.
Shit, there's hustlers in the military.
Absolutely. I know a lot of people that propped up businesses on their military pay until it was sufficient, and then they would leave and go run their business and build their company. Yeah. Like, those are hustlers. People that know how to find and use leverage to their advantage. That's a hustler. That's different,
Yep. What about you, Edgar?
I don't know, the sense of urgency, I just always felt like I could always make money fast.
That's a hustler.
Yeah,
what I mean?
But
like,
that's also like my entitlement, because then it's like, all right, now I need to go get it again, right?
We did hard work versus luck, didn't we?
Well, we did.
Yeah.
It's just like I've seen it. Like, people are like years ago, like, it just needs to be consistent, and that's where I fell. And that's, I think, where it's like, right now this year I don't even count it because I've been focused. You guys know, with the whole
everything
else minus sales, right? But it's like, okay, I'm going to turn it back on.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. 2024, that's what I'm focused on. But that's where my mind's at now. Right. That's the goals are set, and that's what I'm angling at. It's nothing to do with the day-to-day.
See, I don't think that's entitlement though. I think that's your confidence based on your experience and knowledge.
Yeah, my back could be against the wall. I feel like I'm against the wall, but let's be honest. Like,
Yeah, you're really not, obviously.
yeah,
And that's the thing is we
it's
all,
that the levels, right? But also what I'm doing right now is not gonna get me to where I ultimately want to be. So I got to be real with myself. But even at a young age, I was always working, making money, and I stayed with money.
Yeah.
And I could turn it and make more money really fast. So I'm just, there is a confidence level there that I've always done that. And that's where I've been done with the money. I think all of us growing up at some point, right? Like, there was one time I had like 5 cars and 2 motorcycles all at once.
You look back like, man, I really could have. I could have put that.
I could have bought more houses.
I could have parked that cash somewhere else. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's the thing. You're growing and you're learning and you're switching lanes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now it's like, okay, where I need to keep that lane and stay on it a lot longer. Stay on that highway. It's not an express lane.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I got to make it a
for sure.
really good road trip.
Yeah, this is a journey, man.
But
People have a couple good years, and it's like, man, I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, year 13, bro. Year
Listen.
13, I have not took my foot off the gas in 13 years straight. That's crazy.
well, listen,
Like-
I was thinking about that because we came in the business at the same time, and
Yeah.
there were some names that were just smashing in the business back then that are no longer around.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
Like a lot of them, just I don't know what happened.
I do, bro. COVID and inventory issues and interest rates and fear mongering, and a lot of people don't make it.
Or
the
they-
market
yeah.
that we're flourishing in, people have been dropping out of left and right. Like we're so blinded by our immediate circles, like success, because we're all winning, but we're all winning because we're all working together as a unit. A lot of other people, they don't have ears to bend, a culture, an office to walk in and greet 50 top producers that will actually talk to you and engage with you and talk to you about life and not just sales. And,
Yeah.
we have a different thing going on here. We can look, I watch it every day, and most of you guys look at it probably once a day. Like, you can see the companies that are going to close soon or merge soon or flip into a different business genre or open another company because we are in a tough time in the market. Our circle, we just don't operate in that mindset.
Yeah, we
And-
make our market.
See that's where
Right.
that sense of
Exactly.
urgency comes to. If you're one of those companies, right, that are dying out,
I mean, there's 740 some odd firms, bro. Like everybody's not going to make it,
Yeah,
it's
they're
just
not.
natural business attrition. So
Well, it's like I hear this shit about the market. Oh, the market's tough. The market's shifting. The market's crashing. Whatever. I got back from vacation Tuesday night. I went to a home inspection on Wednesday, and while I was at that home inspection, I set 5 new buyer consultations.
Yeah.
In 2 hours.
yeah.
Like
I mean, like
the market's crashing. No, it's
like
not.
I closed down, my little partnership with Zillow, and then I said, now I'm focusing over here. We're gonna be writing offers. I just got the text. It's like, but it takes a little bit in our business, right? It's just not like you pick up clients and
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
of
no, well,
course.
but
you have to have a
even-
pipeline. You have to
It-
have
it
consistent
become-
follow up. Like,
and it's like, but I've also been fucking up, where that's where I was lacking also since I've gotten here, and I told you this in the earlier episodes. Like I never really had like a full business plan. planned
yeah, a
out and mapped out.
database, the marketing touches, the
And then
just the
that's
strategy,
where
right?
I've retasked my admin to do different things now. This year, I don't care about team numbers. And all that
leverage,
stuff.
man. Best use of time and money. Leverage. That's the
Leverage.
key.
Yep.
So now my urgency right now is like, okay, let's really get these sales volumes up. Let's really get all this popping. Keep growing the business and the big news that we got coming up. Hopefully,
Well, I think I dropped it yesterday.
shut up.
That was one of my big news was the board of directors election. So,
That's not big.
well, it's big
not
for
it.
me.
There's bigger news coming.
Bigger news coming.
Yeah,
and by the
for-
time this releases, that news will have already been announced. So
Yeah, that's true.
So let's bring it back to like we talk about.
There's always big news here, right?
Right.
I feel
Yeah,
like
no,
but that's the competitive
I was
nature.
wondering, like,
we're
what
not
news?
we're not settling.
Is it just
We're
big
not
news or
entitled
big,
just
big
because we're
news?
like
No,
we're
bro.
top of our market.
I wanna keep going. I want to maintain. I want to teach others how. I want to impact change. It's what this ain't just selling houses.
Yeah,
you know?
but going back to that is like you look at you guys said what you just touched on is like when you guys were licensed, there were some big names out there, right? And they're no longer really around. It's the same thing with some of these businesses out here that when I started were like big names, and now it's like, man, they're gone. Like you don't see them anymore. You don't see those listing signs anymore. You don't see their marketing.
I won't throw the name out there,
No.
but there's a pretty big firm on Independence where we started.
Yeah.
Their numbers have gone like in half this year. Like they've lost half their agents this year.
Right, but they don't seem. None of these companies are doing anything different.
Right.
Also, when I look at those companies, there were
Are they
usually
entitled?
maybe one or two owners, right? And they didn't know how to grow it or maintain it. And I look at that and I'm like thinking about even us, like, okay, 5, 7, 8 years from now, are we going to be the old dogs? Do we need?
No. You know
'Cause-
why? Because I'm already thinking there.
No,
You know what I mean? Like I think we are as a group. Yeah, of
But
course.
I look at them from then to now, and I was like, they changed nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
All the agents that we're acquiring from all these other firms, they're where I was at. They're saying the exact same thing. The exact same training's happening over there. The exact same everything. Like, look at us now, right? We talked about putting out video content. We're making it happen because we see what's happening in social media, how all that's moving, and these people.
You got to move with the times, bro.
Yeah.
They're not moving with the
They don't
times,
have
though.
a sense of urgency.
Exactly.
No, 'cause they're-
exactly.
and that's where I think the urgency and the entitlement. We are.
So
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to say with the sense of urgency. Like, we're in this room, all of us, we are kicking ass, but each of us are like, man, we could do better. I could do better individually. I'm slacking this year in numbers. Like
It's a mindset.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'm looking at my numbers and I'm like, Andy knows since he met me, my goals are 10 million, right? 30 to 45 deals, 10 million it is. And I'm there and I'm like, I'm slacking. Like, how no, that's not good enough. You know, I had a goal of I always wanted to be in the top 10, right? And then I'm just like, well, now I'm not.
You're
in
talking
the
about
top
at the
10.
company.
At the company.
Well, as the
right?
company grows, that becomes harder.
That becomes harder, but now it's just like,
I mean, I'll tell you who's still in it. You know what I'm saying?
like, I'm knocking on the door though.
Hey, since Eric's sick, he should post those.
He's crushing. He's crushing though.
He's been
Yeah, he
slacking
is
on that
crushing.
first of the month numbers.
Right? I was
I'll
looking
think of
for.
some-
Well, I look at
Yeah.
them every day, but
I mean-
but you see what I mean? The sense of urgency that we have in a down market. We're still meeting our goals, and we're still looking at ourselves in the mirror like, I could do better. Edgar just said it. Next year, I'm gonna crush this year, but he already crushed. You know, he
I didn't do shit
didn't
this year.
crush it.
But I didn't do shit this
Yes,
year.
you did.
And
See, that's the thing. You're talking about
just
personally.
sales. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
I
reality.
know what I've been doing.
But the reality for everybody in this room is those sales are the least important thing on your resume.
100%. I
Like,
feel like yes, keeping this up.
Think about
keep growing
the
this.
106 agents in the office that you took over as the managing
Yeah.
broker. To me, that's more impressive than any amount of houses you could sell.
No,
like-
I am. I am.
And your
proud of
audio
what I'm doing.
visual skills are crazy. You became a whole producer.
And this
man.
is
This is
time
true.
consuming.
Should
and,
noche.
this is true.
But
because this though has to get
But
uploaded.
to that point, though, you know that all of this is good for everybody around us, man. Like bringing people in and
That-
giving people a platform, and it's just and it's fun. We get to do something other than talk about.
You know,
work.
I was talking to my friends.
While Andy pulled his laptop out.
No,
said-
I was talking to my friends when I was out in Minnesota, and see that's the shit too. It's like, yeah, I was just out in Minnesota. Just let's go have a weekend.
yeah,
and
because
watch
you can do
football.
whatever you want.
But
That's great,
You're
isn't it?
entitled.
but they're like,
Because you're entitled.
but
You're
they're
entitled to have that time.
but they're like, Edgar, you work more
got
than
something
us.
better.
You know, they recognize that I'm working more than them. But I was like, it's different.
So
Like I get to
it's
sit in a
way different.
podcast room.
to
I
a
get-
sense of urgency, though, Edgar has a sense of urgency to enjoy life. That's one of Edgar's specialties. He has a sense of urgency to fulfill and be happy. Like, yeah, we come here and work, but I know Edgar, bro. In the summer, 3:30, 4 o'clock, the only thing on his mind is going home and getting in the pool with the kids, bro. But that's so important.
Yeah,
you know,
that is.
It keeps you grounded.
It doesn't matter what time it is. I'm getting in that pool with those kids because that's the whole point of having that damn house, right? And that fucking pool in the backyard is I could show up at any point, anytime.
Kids, let's get it.
Because also where I grew up, I had to go visit my friend at these apartments that had a pool.
That had a
and jump in
community
that dirty-ass
pool and sneak in.
Yeah. Or go to that community park pool,
Yeah,
right?
facts.
Shout out to El Monte, California, Samora Park. And now I go back and I remember that, but that thing was only like 4 feet deep.
But now you can walk out back and hop in the pool with your kids.
In the pool with the kids. Cool. Taught them all how to swim. You know, teaching them money. And going back, that's one of my biggest worries is the entitlement and their sense of urgency. Like, what do they want to do? I'm still trying to figure them out.
Yeah, but your kids are young, bro.
They're young, but you could already start seeing those personalities. My daughter is smart. She wants to do, you know, she's into the arts and production. And then my middle child, he's music and singing. He's walking around singing in the house. Cool, do that. And then my youngest one, he's the rough one. So he may go into sports, and his body is solid.
I think he's gonna be a football player.
Yeah, so I was like, cool.
I think he's gonna be a football player.
But whatever they do, you know, full force. Let's get it.
Yeah,
you know, I'll support it 100%.
Yeah, I told Jackson the same thing, man, and AJ. But
yes, you're right. I my sense of urgency is enjoying life. I remember going camping when I was a little kid, and those moments are ingrained in my mind. I don't forget them. You know, being out with my dad. And I want to create that for my kids. So I don't want to like just always work. Make money is a plus, but those memories are free for them that I can create.
Yeah.
But see, and I feel you, but work, like we were saying, our work is dope. Like when I
we all love what we do. That's so
you know. So when
you got to make that choice to do what you love, and a lot of people fear that change. We all made a choice to do what we do, and we love what we do. So now it's a byproduct of what we do. You know.
So bring it back to like a real estate agent, a new real estate agent that was not born with a hustler's mentality. How do you teach that person a sense of urgency that never served in the military, right? Never played sports, you know, never had a rough background, never had any of those things that made us who we are. How does that person become successful? How do they develop that without being entitled?
Well, I believe that starts with leadership in the industry. Not just us. I mean anybody who is out here recruiting and selling somebody on the fact that they can have a beautiful life and career made in real estate. It starts with those individuals telling these people the truth. The moment you walk in that room to talk to me about joining my firm, I don't feed you bullshit. I ask you, what are your goals? And I tell you the actual true work ethic that it's going to take to get there. And at that moment, that individual is going to kind of have to determine if they're built for that life or not. You know what I mean? Like, and you could see people that will come in and make a conscious effort and they're struggling. And guess what? When you make a conscious effort and you're surrounded by people that see you making that effort, and when you're falling, we're going to lift you up. Yep. But if you're not making effort, you're not falling because you're not even trying to climb. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and to those agents, it's like when they seek or ask for help, I help. I mean, I think everybody in this room has messages with plenty of agents.
All day, every day.
Where's that post? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Yep. I do that every single day.
You'll seek that I know it happens all the time because we get mom and popped, right?
Yes.
They'll seek the knowledge and then they'll just not like the answer and go to the next person in line. And it's like, listen, if you're going to hire the professional, just like I train to tell our clients, if you hire the professional, let the professional do their job. So if you called the principal broker of 240 agents that is brokering, 150 to 180 transactions a month, and they give you advice, and you're a 10 deal a year type person, maybe 20, maybe 30, like you have to understand that the person on the other end of that communication is just vastly more experienced. It has nothing to do with personal feelings or respect or none of that. It's just trying to provide you the best I know how. And if you don't take heed to that and you don't use that information, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, and let's be very clear. There is no shortcuts.
No, not at all.
There is no fucking shortcuts.
There are some, but they only work for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
No shortcut is like a good investment for longevity. You know what I mean? It's gonna bite you in the ass. Always does.
And I feel like some of those big names that I mentioned probably took some shortcuts back in the day, and they're no longer here. And we don't have to get into it. I know it just there's a couple of people that I was like, as a young agent, I was enamored by. Like, I was very impressed by their presentation, by the car they drove, by the house they lived in. I was just all about it. And then just to watch it kind of flutter away.
And see that right there, that is something that's never like impressed me personally. The cars and all of that stuff. It's more about just getting to know the person, getting those jewels, just watching, see what they do, their actions, right? Yeah. Like Mike's a good example of that, where it's like, at first I was like, figure out this fucking guy, right?
Like, man, this dude talks a lot of shit.
Talks a lot of shit, but it's all positive. So it's like some people can't get over that. And then Andy, you've been very clear about your goals, right? So it's like, let's watch it. Like, no, yeah, he is about that. And same thing with you. There's certain things that I'm not looking at the stuff around you, the material things. I'm looking at you, the person. I'm always analyzing
the actions, backing,
and the actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And so it's
the results, right? Because the results speak louder than anything else.
100%. And so there's some names that I knew around here that I watch, and it's like, nah, you're not that guy that I want to associate with. And there's some people that I met that are still big in this industry, but there's nothing good that I hear about them. And it's like, how are they sustaining that?
Right.
Well, it's because it's not really, they're doing something else outside of real estate.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what it is. Finally figured it out. Cool. Stay over there. Keep your stuff over there, but don't infiltrate what we got going here. And that's, I'm going off subject, but what I was getting at was the entitlement and the, when I looked at them and I was like, man, I want to go that way. I want to be like them, right? The material things, but when you start looking at the individual, it's like, nah, I don't want to be that. I don't want those material things if that's what I got to be.
Yeah.
See, I never look at like those things as like, oh, I want to be that person or like nothing like that. I kind of always like the shit that I like, if that makes sense, right?
No, yeah.
Like, and a lot of it has to do from where I grew up, my culture. All of those things are like what kind of attracts me. You know what I mean?
Well, to be clear, also, it's me looking at it just getting into the industry.
Yeah. No, and
it's like, how the fuck do I fast forward to that part?
I can say I'm new to the industry. I'm 20-year licensed, but I didn't know who was a top producer for the first 17 years of my career.
Yeah. Right.
No idea. I was at Wainwright. I sold real estate to my homies on the ship. Like, that's what I did. And I was a popular dude. I had no systems. I had nothing. I just was selling real estate until I kind of really started knowing after I retired what was going on.
You know what happened? Your sense of urgency changed.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Absolutely.
Yep, because you no longer had that first and the 15th guaranteed anymore, and now you had to go find business.
It's just on the first.
Yeah, I know. Let's talk real life for other people.
But it was also
for the rest of us.
What is Senior Chief Rodriguez going to do when he gets up every day at 5 a.m.? So now you were able to put all your time and your full capacity into the real estate industry and your new career. That's the only thing that changed, because the same thing happened to me. I did $3 to $4 million a year for a while in the Navy. I had no idea that was actually a top producer.
Right.
I thought I was blown away by that. And then when I was able to give all my time to this craft, and you start learning and seeing and watching and following and tracking more, And then people are like, who is this guy? But it's like, no, it's the same dude that did a contract with you 8 years ago. It's just that I'm home now.
Yeah.
This is all I do now. So, you're chasing. You wouldn't have made senior chief in the Navy or retired from the Navy if you weren't chasing greatness the whole fucking time. So now that you do this full time, you're doing the same thing, but you're doing different things. You went from a team lead to a managing broker and an owner. You're switching swim lanes as well. So,
yeah, but that sense of urgency ultimately, I think, is what got us here. And even still,
Yeah.
we're doing great. I still feel like I'm drowning and struggling, right? Like, every day if we break down our goals from 2023, we've exceeded all of them. The goals we set for 24 are less than what we attained in 23.
but they're already done and set out. That's the thing. That's the difference.
Is if we just maintain this, we're gonna crush everything.
This is not even if, because we're gonna wake up and do it every day.
And to that newer agent also, that's going firm to firm, it's you.
Oh wow!
It's you.
Damn, Edgar. You hitting them like that on on what is today? Friday, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. That's the clip I want. Adam with Live on Real. Just go ahead and make that the number one short for this clip.
Yep.
Edgar just hit him with the realest shit I've heard in 2023.
Yeah, that
should be a
annoying
meme.
as fuck.
That should be a meme.
Right. And then
It's everybody else's fault. It's not me.
They down talk. That's the entitlement right there, right?
And then you shit talk people that tried to help you.
My company didn't provide this. I don't get training. All these things, but have you taken the time to even seek training?
Hey, we got this system. Yeah, I don't like doing that.
Oh, there's another one. Adam, clip that. Yo,
Oh my
Edgar's
God.
on fire
It's
right
like-
now. I'm
it's
sorry
like,
to the general
well,
public.
No, but these are those private conversations
Let
we
it
have
fly.
with them. And
It's
it's
so
like,
real,
I'm struggling.
man.
I'm trying to do this or that. It's like, I know if these leads ain't working over here, I'm going to pick up this phone over here. I don't give a fuck. Like,
So
Sense of urgency, man.
yeah,
They don't really want it.
Well, and that's what kills me. It's like a brand new agent, or maybe you've been in the business a couple of months, right? And if you're doing this full time, you don't get a paycheck if you don't sell a house.
Facts.
How is that not enough sense of urgency to fucking do your job?
I'm going to tell you how right now, because most of them, this isn't what they're banking on. They got a spouse. They got another job. They got, you know what I mean? Like, they don't actually have responsibility, bro. Like,
Yeah, like
when you have to feed children and pay the mortgage, which everyone in this room does.
Preaching
you
to the
know,
choir,
I know,
dog.
but when you have 240 people, you got to think, look at our age groups. Look at the demographic. A lot of our people don't have kids. A lot of our people don't have spouses. You know, some of them are brand new and of an entire different generation than we are. So it's just like, how do you, back to your question, how do you instill a sense of urgency? And I don't know that you can. Personally, I would say that everyone's wired different. And if somebody is giving you all the game on a silver platter and you're choosing to not act or implement, then
You're the 80% that won't make it.
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
So
That's
I mean, we landed here from Japan, and the first thing I did is I started Uber driving. Did I have to? No. We had income coming in, but it's like, I'm not going to sell my ass,
no, you're a hustler.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got my license, and I started real estating. I
been
wasn't
a
really
real-
real estating,
Stating.
real estating.
but didn't do nothing much those first 6 months. But it's like the consistency, keep it going, finally figured it out, and then it starts rolling. And then even now on my, I'm going to say it again, a down year for me in sales. When I was interviewing an agent, I was like, you know, I sold that X amount of homes in volume. She's like, damn. And I'm like, damn. Like, you forget where you're at, and it's like it's never been about the numbers. It's always not how much you make; it's how much you keep. Mm-hmm. It's how I've always kind of looked at it. Me and
That's a
Cookie
good one, too.
have always tried to live off of one income, so it doesn't take a lot to have a good month for us. I need $5,000. Boom, bills paid, done. Yeah. That ain't shit. right? In our market, like in our industry,
It shouldn't be if you're doing what's necessary to earn the income. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like right now with everything that we're doing, it's like I need to earn the income so we could buy that building.
Facts.
Right.
Yep.
We want to get those buildings.
Man, I think you just told everybody we're going to buy a building.
Fuck
Newsflash, we're not paying any more lease rent. We're coming to buy something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I would imagine.
but those are
most people
goals.
would
It's
know
like
that.
there's a sense of urgency, right? Like,
They look at us. Did
So
y'all
the
see
goals-
that one on Lynn Haven?
I did see it. It's
Right
right
on
off
it.
the freeway. Yeah, I'm going to go look at it. I just want to go back to the sense of urgency part and just kind of explain where my state of mind is on that. When you have a why, when you've identified your why and it's a strong one, you then understand that to get where you're trying to go, like, dude, we only have so much time.
yeah.
We only have so much time. And I think it's specifically hitting home for me this year just because, like, both of my parents are dead, dude. Like,
You had a tough year.
like of their own doing too, really, when you think about it. And for me, you know, they were both in their 50s when they went, and mostly by choice and how they were treating their bodies. But I now also have this weird relationship with my grandpa. Like, since I went and buried my father, my grandfather's been all over our social medias. Like, him and his wife sent me a letter. My dad's ex-wife, which I call mom, that took me and gave me this just package of all this paperwork teaching me about my own life. Like, and this year's been a movie for me. It's just insane. So I just have a sense of urgency that I've never had before. How far can I take this thing before I go? Because I don't know when I'm going. And my grandpa connecting with me through his own son's death has just been like, he gives me hope. Like, damn, there's family lineage that thought and operated like me. Mm-hmm. He is 83 years old, man. So I'm sitting here like, shit, I got 50 years easy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I think about it. But he is retired. He lives in a house in Arizona with his wife of 50 plus years. And then you start finding things out, like he was a real estate broker. He was a speaker, an author,
So he got married in his 30s.
a ballroom dancer. I'm like, this is just crazy. And then I look on a post this morning and he's like, back in 1983, I was the vice president of this title company. And I'm like, Grandpa, I'm literally the vice president of a fucking title company. I cannot make this shit up. This shit is insane. But when I see where he is in his life versus where my father was and where I am right now, I feel like I'm like him on the next level. And how everything just skipped a generation. Like, I've never met this man. So I also kind of had a sense of urgency this year. Like, I'm going to meet him in January because by some miracle or work of coincidence, the Glover U event is in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And it's just, so my sense of urgency has been heightened. That's why, and thankfully, that I run with a crew that supports what I do and everything I'm trying to accomplish, because thanks to all of you, everything that I've put in place, I've literally just put all of that into work this year. Mm-hmm. Everything. I hired a coach because, fuck, man, I needed something to do, bro. Like I just put my dad in a box. I just tore my fucking labrum. Like, I got to find somewhere to compartmentalize all my energy. So the sense of urgency became on a business. And when I hired a coach, I challenged myself. But then I just realized, like, it literally does not matter what challenge you give me. Fucking challenge accepted, yo. Mm-hmm. And it's just executed time after time after time after time. And that is my sense of urgency, is like, how much of my legacy can I put in my grandpa's face before he goes? Because I want him to see it. He deserves to see a fucking win. Like, his son was a fuck up for 36 years and died of a heroin overdose. He's watching his grandson probably live out some of his wildest dreams. Yep. And I've never even met the man, bro.
Some hopes that he had.
Bro, it's incredible. So my sense of urgency is giving that old man a fucking show.
Nice.
Nope.
And like, that's where I'm at with it. So people like, Mike's in some type of fucking like meditation mode, bro. Like I don't really blow up or get angry anymore. I just have solutions. I only ask questions until I'm like, hey, that's done. Don't worry about it. Like I'm just operating in a different sense of urgency with everything, man. Like yesterday, I knew that I was going to dinner with my wife and going to the Theo Von show. That became the number one priority for the day. Like, period. I'm going to be home by this time. I'm going to be ready to go, and I'm going to be there in that moment. And I'm choosing consciously to do that. Like
You're entitled to do that. You're entitled
fair.
to do
It's
that,
reaching
to
your
bring
peak
it
life.
to bring it
Yeah,
all in.
that's fair, man.
I believe that. I know no one.
my wife told me that when I bought the car last week, bro. When I went, because I've been looking for a Chevelle for like, you guys know the whole time
know.
you've known me,
Yeah.
right? So she was like, you deserve it. What do you mean?
Bro, we got swimming pools coming up here for vacation.
I just got back from Mexico 2 days ago.
I know. But see, and all that stuff is cool, but watching everyone else do it is so much cooler, man. Like you see Sebastian pull up in his new truck. You see LJ move into a new house and renovate it.
Like when
Like,
Christy
we paid for
buying
the-
that Bronco,
But like to me,
made
when we
me
paid for these,
so happy.
when we paid for these vacations, that's why I dapped you guys up because it's like
isn't that cool?
it's
right?
it's an
Like,
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like it's something we're doing for as a whole for the company.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
we're like, hey,
That was an
no,
accomplishment, man. To be able to
That's
pay for
great.
that at the beginning of the fourth quarter,
25
for
people.
the first quarter next year, like, yeah, that's cool, man.
Well, that's great, man. Like I'm telling you, when the happiness and pride that Christy had in her face when she was, which the Bronco's super dope. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like to go out.
She
there
loves it, dude. That's you're
and
whipping it
it's
every day.
like, Yo, that's
She told me today. She's like, you asked me how many miles am I gonna get driving this thing around. She's like, I just filled it up today. It's been 4 weeks. I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right.
Dion too, man. Dion just bought a house and renovated it, and it's just everybody's winning, man.
yeah,
LJ, yep.
absolutely.
But those
LJ,
people all have a sense of urgency and are not entitled.
That's it.
Everybody we just named.
They
You
work
see what I'm
hard
saying?
for it,
Like,
yep.
and they get up and go get it every single day.
So I would say they don't have a sense of entitlement, but they still can be entitled, right? They're entitled to have a day off because of their hard work. They're entitled to renovate that house, that
With
Dion
their
just
hard-earned
did,
money,
right?
absolutely.
So, I think the
So
sense of entitlement
Go ahead.
and entitlement, is kind of two different things.
So I think being entitled, the fact or having a right to something, right? So you work hard for it, you have a
That's
right
been
to
earned.
it. Right, that's been
Correct.
earned. That's entitlement, not the entitlement mentality. That's the
Right.
difference. So the
That's
entitled
where-
mentality is you owe me.
In your head, you're telling yourself that everybody owes you and you don't owe nobody
Right.
else, and that's the most ridiculous, preposterous thing you could ever think in your life, and you're not gonna make it.
So have a sense of urgency to become entitled without an entitlement mentality.
To the things you've earned. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
Mike-
exactly how it is.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. And
agree with that.
episode 29 is in the vault. We're out.
Dunsky.
All right.
Cut it.